Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist. I am Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, and we are back on episode 44 of our Quick Clips series. We are back and rolling full steam today on whatever day of the week it is. They all blend together.
What is the day?
I don't know. I think it's Thursday.
It is Thursday, okay. I'm only working part-time this summer at my college, so my whole weeks have been just screwed up now with all the thing going on we talked about last. It's really just messed up.
Yeah.
My real estate agents beat me up trying to get my house ready to sell.
Here
so
we go. I told you to go at your own
pace. He needs another Tesla.
Yeah.
So
oh, jeez. This guy is making more money than he knows what to do with now.
No, I don't think so. I'm a teacher.
He's about to buy
I'm a teacher.
Yeah, please. A college professor at 5 colleges now. He's got so many offer letters he can't even keep up with them.
I wish that was the case. I'd be bidding them against each other.
I'm over here just trying to keep the lights on. You're lucky the lights are on for the video
come on,
right
give
now.
Me a break.
I almost couldn't buy my coffee this morning.
Well, you know, as a financial coach,
I know,
call Wes. Call Wes. Wes Coach. No coffee. Coach Wes C at gmail.com. We can talk about spending all that money at Starbucks, which you really could be doing with it.
I know, but I save up stars on my app, and every 5 coffees I get a free one. It seems like a great deal, Wes. Tell me why it's not. Yeah, I actually listened to a financial advisor one time. They were on a podcast, and they said one of the dumbest things you can do is wake up every morning and spend $6 on a coffee that you can make at home for 20 cents. They're like, if you want to start saving money, stop going to Starbucks. That was literally the first thing they said. Yeah, so sorry, Starbucks.
And you said, no.
I said, no, if it gets to that point where I have to cut Starbucks out, I probably need to cut a few other things out before I get to that point. So I'll cut Netflix off before I cut out my drugs that I need every day to get through. So, sorry. Nope, not cutting you out.
So here's a job opportunity for you here, North Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Get a better price than Starbucks and just cater to him, and you'll make a fortune.
You'll make a fortune. I'll be there every day knocking the door down, waiting for my fix.
So
I know we touched on the last episode that what we wanted to talk about on this quick clip was basically, I see a lot of the left saying that, you know, the right's falling apart because we're all fighting amongst ourselves. The problem that shows me is that the left is so tribal that it's like we all have to agree with each other or you're not in our tribe, whereas it seems like there's a lot of people on the right and that are more centrist on the right that are like, hey, I voted for Trump for this, and this one thing he's not doing, I'm mad about it, and I'm going to call him out on it, which I think is the only way to be, because I'm not going to say, all right, yeah, I voted for Trump, and then be like, well, he didn't do these 3 things, but I'm a Trumper, so I'm just not going to call him out on it, or that's like
that's the reason our country is like it is.
That's like a cult mentality.
But that's what Republicans want.
That's exactly what they want.
That's exactly what they
want. That's what
want.
both parties want. You're either with us or you're against us, and there's no in between.
When we were talking about Mike Johnson last year, you know, and they had to go through so many votes to get him, and what was the guy before him? I want to say, but it's not Boehner, the guy from California.
I don't know.
Yeah, good. Everybody's forget his name.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah,
because I didn't like him. But the whole thing was everybody's fussing because we couldn't agree on our speaker. But that just again showed me I was happy about it. We were debating and getting stuff done. That's what it's supposed to be about: negotiation, compromise. Yeah. This kind of you walk into House of Representatives and you got one vote here for Republicans and one vote for Democrats, and that's all we do is fight each other.
Right,
and that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think it's crazy to even to consider the fact that, like, to even say you guys shouldn't be fighting amongst yourself, like, oh, you guys are falling apart because you're arguing. It's like that debating and disagreeing and coming to conclusions and putting pressure on Trump to do the things he promised is a good thing. I don't look at it as a bad thing.
Which is kind of strange now. The Democrats want the Epstein files.
It is crazy. It's
since
like
they wouldn't do it before with Biden.
Right. It's weird how they flip on issues once it's like something Trump's not doing that they know the Republicans want. It's like, look, now he's not releasing the Epstein files. We want the Epstein files. It's like, that's crazy. For the last 4 years, you never said anything about the Epstein files. You were totally fine accepting it how it was. So what's the problem now?
Exactly. You've seen the joke. It says if Trump came out for breathing, the Democrats would drop dead from holding their breath.
That's about right. That's about right. It's just, I just don't understand that. And I know not every Democrat's like that. It just seems more prevalent over there. Yeah. I mean, as much as most people disagree with Bill Maher, like I've seen like clips on his show and where he's on podcasts where he'll like say things against just like stupidity on the left that they do. But there's not a lot of him on his side that I see doing that and calling.
No, there's
those
been
people.
more over the last
Have
6
been more.
months.
Yeah,
but
Chris Cuomo, seems to be doing more of that.
More of that. They escaped my mind.
Chris
right
Cuomo
now.
believes
some actors. That one guy. The only scene I can think of him in was in The Big Bang Theory when he was selling helium to the two professors. But he was so anti-Trump, hated him, blah blah blah, and he was the one near the election was like, it's not off the table. Vote for Trump because he was starting to wake up.
Was it Michael Rappaport that said
I
that?
think that's him.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you.
When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit bobbyclary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's Michael Rappaport.
So I've seen more of that. Not that they're changing their philosophy and how they live, but they're starting to realize, okay, the far extreme is taking over my party.
Yeah.
We need to bring this back down.
Yeah. I do think you have like 40% of people here, 40% of people here that are just like die hard for their sides, and there's like 20% that are like 20% here or 10% here, 10% here, and they can find a happy medium, and we got to lean more towards get more people toward that like happy medium on both sides where you can actually debate things and come to like a general consensus and come to a happy medium and compromise because we don't have that at all.
You're disagreeing with Musk. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? Why, huh? Because that's what he's saying about the American Party is he thinks it's not 10 and 10, it's more like 40 and 40. And only the 10% is on the extreme.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think there's
I
higher.
think it's a lot higher. But that was his contingency. That if we get this centrist party, you could pull from both sides. But the problem is I don't see a lot of liberals who are physically conservative while they're socially liberal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Usually it's both.
Right.
Same thing on the other side. You don't find somebody who is fiscally liberal and socially liberal, conservative and fiscally liberal.
Right.
So I don't see how you're going to get even 50% in the middle that you're going to get to agree.
No, you probably couldn't. I mean,
maybe that 20% you're talking about. Yeah, that sounds more like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with another party because I think stuff needs to be pulled from the two parties. I think there should be 5 or 6 realistic parties that can run. I really wish there just weren't parties at all, and you just voted on people based on their merit, and they didn't have to affiliate with anything because then you couldn't even throw your bias in of them being your party.
Yeah,
you'd vote based on how you felt about the person, and the party affiliation would be irrelevant. Really, that's how it was supposed to be. That's how it was all planned when the country was started. I think George Washington was the only president, maybe just after him, maybe John Adams. No, he was a Whig, I think. But yeah. I think after George Washington, he was the only president we ever had that was party unaffiliated, and he warned against the parties and what it could cause, and it's surely done that. And I think it's we might not be around for it, and I don't want to be around for it. But if America ever falls, I would say that the party system would probably be a huge. So that and probably AI and technology and social media would be a big part, but I think the party system really.
They say, our founding father said the two-party system would be the death of us.
Yeah.
And you're right. He did not belong to either political party. Adams
was a Whig, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe there was There was a couple other parties before Democrats and Republicans. I know Whigs was one, and there should be one.
He was part of the Federalist Party.
Federalist. That's right.
His vice president is Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
And Thomas Jefferson was part of a different party. I don't remember which one he was.
Which is interesting. Which is also cool to be like, okay, I'm a Republican or whatever party you want to say, and then you bring somebody in there as your vice that's a different party.
He was elected separately. He was part of the Democratic Republican Party.
Mm.
Now, at the time, it's the Republican Party, also referred to as the Jeffersonian Republican Party. But no, whoever got the most votes got president. Whoever got the second most votes was vice president. I kind of like that.
I kind of like that.
That's why right now, we just had our first elections in South Carolina in 2018, with the governor chose the lieutenant governor, and everybody's like, "Oh, good, they're in the same party." I liked it the other way.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we had Republican as a governor and a Democrat as the lieutenant governor.
Yeah.
And like, well, they can't work together. Oh, tough.
Yeah, well, you're gonna
I don't
figure
like
it out.
government working together. I want y'all debating, and
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
to move slow.
Yeah. Do you remember the big thing about the what was he a congressman? George Santos,
Yeah.
who
Is he the one
he's about to serve 7 years in
Yeah.
prison. Which after kind of reviewing everything that he's going to jail for, I was like, they're all doing this. They just kicked him out. He was on Tucker's podcast yesterday.
Really?
Right before he's going into prison. Very interesting. But he started talking about like how when he went into Congress and everything, and he thought he was going to do all these things, and they basically told him, like, some of the people he looked up to, like, hey, this is just a big show. This is not, we're not doing. There's not much. This is all theater for the most part. And because there was a lot of stuff on there, and I haven't even finished the episode yet. It's pretty interesting. It's a good listen. But he was basically saying that, like, now, like, it's just he's like, man, it's such a joke. He was like, and then, he's like, the stuff that they said I did, most of it wasn't true, but the stuff I did with misappropriating some of the funds, they do this with way larger amounts than I did. All the time. They just wanted him out of the way. Yep. Yeah, which is crazy that you can just do that. And then there's like he was saying, there's people that are serving less time for, child molestation than what the 7 years he's getting for the stuff they threw at him. But it's crazy. It's just such a dirty business, and I think the whole thing needs to be revamped. I really wish we had more parties. I think the CIA and the FBI all need to be revamped. I don't know how much Kash Patel really can get in there and do damage. I know there's a lot of stuff they're posting about a lot of they're catching a lot of people right now, like they've made a lot of big drug busts and stuff, which is good. I'm glad you're getting stuff like that off the streets, but there's a lot of other stuff I think needs to be done from inside out. I just don't know. I think we've gone too far. I don't know that it would ever happen. I don't know that they'd ever be able to fix it.
If we can ever get it fixed, because there's just so much that has to be fixed. I really, at this point, I think the lines are drawn in states too to make sure that we have pretty much a split Congress down the line.
Yeah. Yes.
There's so much gerrymandering going on. They say, "Oh, that's illegal." Well, it is illegal, but they've kind of and I've seen this several places. It's like, okay, Democrats, Republicans get together, said, "This is my district. You leave it alone. This is your district. We'll leave it alone. We'll make sure you stay." And so there's only a handful of seats out of 435 that are actually really up for grabs.
Right. Yeah. So it's just we all sit here, and I feel like we all sit here and we talk about this. You and I talk about it. Other people debate it. We all fight about it. And then they just sit back and laugh, and they're like, this is exactly what we want. They're all fighting about it. They're all taking our sides. They're taking your side. Mm-hmm. We're fighting to get more people on this side. We're fighting to get more people on this side, and we both stay in power. We just switch every few years, 4 years, 8 years, whatever it is, and the money's still coming in. We're still laundering and doing everything we need to do.
That's why we call it uniparty.
Yeah.
Because it's only one.
Yeah, and it really is. At the end of the day, we'd be lying to ourselves. And I had faith that Trump could change it because I really don't think he cares about either. I really don't. Even though he ran as a Republican, he donated to Hillary years ago. Like he doesn't. He doesn't really hold a ton of Republican values when it's all said and done. Like he just ran as a Republican because he's like, okay, this is probably the best route for me to be able to win it. Which, whatever, that doesn't really matter too much to me. I like a lot of his concepts and cleaning out stuff, and I think he does understand what needs to be done, but either they're not letting him, or once he got too deep, they're like, hey, you need to stop, or you're not going to be here the other 3 years. I think that there's people above him that make bigger decisions, and that that the president of the United States is more of a placeholder than we would like to believe. I'm serious. I think that there's...
And there's a conspiracy theory. Jonathan comes back out.
There we go. Conspiracy theorist, the president does not run the country.
Well, we know that from last one.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
That's another one we need to talk about. The auto pen.
Yeah.
Oh, my gracious.
Oh, man. He auto penned everybody. And he was like, yeah, but I approved them verbally. I'm like, that shouldn't count.
On the way over here tonight. Yeah. He didn't approve the people verbally. He approved the guidelines.
He wasn't even competent enough to approve anything.
Exactly. But he approved the guidelines.
Yeah.
That's...
Unbelievable.
13 minutes. These quick clips are getting longer.
How come there's not more outrage about that, though? Like, how do you pardon that many people that haven't committed a crime, and everybody's just like, well...
Because you got two camps, and the one camp's been yelling about it from the beginning, and the other one's taking it, and the other one's not going to stand up and say he was wrong.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And they're not going to... And the one camp's not going to yell about it too much, because there's probably stuff they'd like to be pardoned for as well that they've done.
Exactly. So let's take this one into the next quick clip. Then we'll get Epstein after that.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right.
Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwesc@gmail.com. That's coachwesc@gmail.com.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872. Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents.